Fabulous, thank you. So,
All right.
Yasmine Laraqui is a Casablanca-based curator and visual artist working across text, moving image, and installation. Her projects trace how identity is formed through inherited codes, social surveillance, and representation. At SOMOS, she's developing installation works that combine AI-assisted writing and improvised video and an interface structure which the avatar operates like a search engine, and memory becomes an editable record. As well as all of this, she's also working on a novel, as if that wasn't enough. And she has some work to share with us, a little bit what she's been doing so far. So give a warm welcome to Yasmine.
Thank you.
Would you like to share first before we dive into our conversation?
No, maybe we start the conversation, and when we talk about the TikTok reels, then we show like some parts of it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've been kind of working on your third novel.
Exactly. That's what I'm doing right here at SOMOS. It's like I've been working a lot on that third novel. It's a saga actually that I'm writing, and it's on global surveillance, and particularly the intimacy that is getting lost, because of that global surveillance that's happening, and the privacy that we cannot have anymore. And so the work is basically based upon personal experience, but also a lot of acting that I'm doing, that I'm trying to perform, different kind of persona that are stuck into some kind of rabbit holes that are going into, conspiracy theories that by the end of the day are not conspiracy theories. And so different acting that I'm integrating to this novel. Using AI, I translate my speech into text, sometimes to have dialogues that are more fluid and things like that. So that's my writing process at the moment. And also there is that, that's the third book of a saga that I'm writing, that, I am at 50 pages right now at SOMOS, which, I'm kind of happy about, because I don't think I'm going to keep the 50 pages, because it's
the writing process is
exactly,
they might be 50 pages now, but then you write another 50 and then you have to lose 40.
Exactly.
Could you tell us a little bit more about the saga? Do you have like kind of short introduction to?
Sure. Well, that's the story. If you want to play the
Oh yeah, please spare me. It's not about retaliation. It's about justice. The system in here. Are you happy with the situation? Are you aware of how the economy is going in this country? Are you happy about this? Yes, no? Maintained by people who are in power right now. Like their houses are not just all of the people who have been doing something years for this country are not able to do shit. So that's why when we are looking at the economy, what we not despise, what happened this, what's going on, you're a criminal because you're fucking ignorant. You believe in magic? You believe in fucking sorcery? Yeah, go fuck yourself. I'm here to do business. I'm not here to throw spells at your fucking face, So you're the problem in this country. Look at the economy. You're in finance, my ass.
Yeah, that's right. You tell her.
So that's an idea about like the writing also process and the personas that I'm actually having, you know, different people that I am playing.
Kind of coming through you as a vessel, but these different identities and different
exactly. And sometimes it
perspectives.
feels good also to just let it go, you know.
Yeah,
to be honest.
I felt that.
To be honest, sometimes it's also yourself being like, but yeah, mostly, you know, working with these videos that I don't post on social media, but I'm using for the next thing that is coming with the book, that is the movie that's coming with it. So that I'm gonna integrate, because the principal, like the character, you know, is a journalist, you know, so she's going through all of this questioning, and she's going through all these quests, you know, knowing that she's dealing with corporate people, that she's dealing with politicians, that she's dealing with this and this and that. So many important people that, you know, by the end of the day, she's kind of losing it because the system is the system the way it is. And I'm obviously using the Epstein files now that they're out, you know, and now that everyone is noticing that they're going pretty much all around the world, and we have ties with that in Morocco as well. So I'm kind of using that and surfing on that vibe, because I was working on sex trafficking rings beforehand. And when it arrives, obviously, there was like...
connected, surely. If you're looking at sex trafficking in Morocco, there's no way that there's not at least one instance of that overlapping.
Exactly. So I'm kind of, you know, that just happened, that it happened when I was working on sex trafficking rings, you know, so that was unfortunately welcome.
Yeah, you don't want to say it was good timing, but it's also interesting that, you know, all of these emails have been released. There's new photographic evidence right at the point when AI technology becomes quite good, that it's quite difficult to distinguish from a genuine image.
Yeah,
and this is also something that your work kind of brings through, right? Like, there's something of a tension of making TikTok videos but not posting them. Yeah. You know, you're taking this aesthetic that's been created of short form video to bring it into fictional narrative that's actually about the problem about truth.
It's the problem about truth, but I'm still going to use them. But let's say I'm going to use them, you know, in another context, like embedding them into the video per se, into the film that I'm going to create, rather than posting them. Because I feel that sensationalism, you know, is kind of making we lose the intent and we lose the interpretation of something when you make it too sensational on the net, you know. It loses their genuine, you know, intent, you know. It's like, this is this bombshell news that I have here, that na. And we're listening to that way too much, you know, that by the end of the day, we're becoming kind of immune, you know, oversaturated to this kind of sensationalist news. And I feel that by the end of the day, it's better to just like put them into the movie rather than posting them on Instagram or TikTok or things like that, that we just like go, there's just another one. There's just another one.
Do you feel like if you posted it, people would think that it was real? As if not an artwork, not a character? If you just posted them on Instagram tomorrow?
I posted some of them. And, you know, people have a good reaction to them, because like you will always find a community, whatever you post, you will always find a community that will go along with what you're saying.
With the niche interest.
Exactly, with the niche interest. And so that might be interesting sometimes when I'm talking about, you know, how AI or like how global surveillance or how the GAFAM are taking over our intimacy, you know, that I could post these videos and I'll be like, okay, it's okay if I find a niche community for that, you know. But for other things that are a little more sensitive, you know, or legally sensitive, I would say, you know.
Yeah, well, especially, I mean, there's not just the Epstein files, but we were talking about these Meta trials that are ongoing.
Yeah.
Currently, the first trial is
Yeah.
about kind of rape at Meta, and
Yeah,
you were
Meta.
telling me that this is also coming into...
Exactly. Meta rapes, it's like a new form of rapes that they discovered that, you know, while using these technologies and while using the metaverse, for instance, some people using the gears have noticed that some vibrations were going on, you know. Some people would harass them on the net, you know, and they would describe that as being a rape because they would feel sensation because of the gears that they're wearing. So regardless of the fact that this is the metaverse or this is this or this is that, you know, you still touched by
it's non-consensual touch or sensation, at least.
Exactly. And especially your brain doesn't make the difference between, you know, an aggression that would be like this. Your brain is like, I have been touched by someone who I didn't want to be touched by. Therefore, we're having the first trials for meta rapes. You know, this is something new that's coming with the new technologies that we're having. So a lot of, you know, brain hacking things I'm talking about actually are happening nowadays, and they're not conspiracies anymore, you know.
Well, I was going to ask you if your kind of practice or viewpoint has changed as all of this has come out, or has it just further solidified what you knew to be true anyway?
Well, I worked with AI to set up a new set of rules, you know, since the UN hasn't been doing that. And I've been looking for all the laws that are out, you know, with regard to this kind of practice and, you know, how new technologies can be held accountable for the sexual harassment or rape for that matter, you know. And I noticed that we have the technologies to do all that, but the laws didn't exist. So I used AI to create a set of laws, like a UN treaty, you know, like a UN treaty to have safe...
Imagine guidelines.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Imagine guidelines for this. And the only state right now in the US that has laws against these things is Nevada. For some reason, I don't know, that should be California. That should be California, but it's Nevada, you know, for some reason. And the laws already exist over there for that.
So when you are kind of making up, you know, guidelines or embodying a journalist, is this the work of you as the character, or does the character have her own name, identity? Could you tell us?
She has her own name and identity, because I still want to keep some distance, you know. I still need to keep some distance, even if I'm doing the job of a journalist myself, like looking for all the info, going after some people, sometimes making myself in danger, having some names out. But it's easier if I have some name out and it's not my name.
Yeah.
And
well, what's she called?
She's called Omnia.
Omnia,
because that's omniscience, precisely. That's based on that, and so that's also the matrix, you know, because Om in Arabic means the mother, so it's like the matrix at the same time. So it's the omniscience plus matrix, you know, kind of character, you know, that she embodied, because she's a mutant,
right?
In the
What kind of a mutant? Like a fusion of tech and person, or some different life form?
Or she's a human being enhanced by some chip, you know, that is...
She's a cyborg.
She's kind of.
I do like cyborgs, so. And as well as the, you know, your textual works, and you have text on the wall, and there's extracts of the novel in translation, if anyone wants to have a little look who hasn't already. But you're also working on kind of game formats as well, right? Like this one.
Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit about the games?
Well, they're mental games as well. They're not I'm not that, I'm tech savvy. I feel that I was way more tech savvy when I was 14 than I am today.
When you were like editing the like MySpace HTML, putting a song on, and now
CSS thing, and today everything is done for you.
I'm glad to hear you say that, because I also feel exactly the same. I used to know how to do it, and now I feel like a grandma. Like I don't know how to like.
Well, that's why these are so simple, because that's like just like continue games, and it's just
like an RPG, like read, click
exactly, click, and I have made the visuals. Obviously, that's Python, but for the rest, I'm still trying, to get someone to shoot another person. I'm not, I can do, but it will take way more time. So for now, it's a mental game in which you cannot escape. And the only thing you can do is actually continue the game. And it's just telling you that you're stuck inside of this game, which is a mental game, which is exactly the same a little bit as my book by the end of the day.
Right.
So yeah, that would be an illustration for that.
So everything kind of circles back and then branches off again.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've touched on cyborgs and enhancements, and I see this kind of like a similar ideas like that have been explored in films like Ghost in the Shell and some early kind of cyber feminist texts like Cyborg Manifesto. And these texts often kind of like problematize the relationship between the mind and body, like this Cartesian problem. And that's like, but now it's taking a different context, because a lot of these technocrats and really people in positions of power like to push a post-humanist narrative as like a good thing, right? Meta glasses and everything as a positive. It seems like you're kind of rubbing up against these ideas in a critical way, but I'm sure it's much more complicated than that. Like, how do you feel about post-humanism or mind-body separation?
Well, I feel that, we're headed toward this, like there is no way back anyway. Post-humanism is the future. But now the way we're dealing with it, the way, we have some technologies that are already out, like brain hacking, brain to machine interfaces and things like that, that are not there is no legislation, and that's my problem with that, meaning the technology already exists. It's not sci-fi anymore. We cannot say, I cannot hack your brain. That's not true. You can definitely hack a brain, today, without a chip, which was already feasible with Hertz, which was already feasible with things like that, years ago. But not to have a legislation for that is my problem, is the problem, I guess, for humanity. And that's something that we have to work on today, and not wait until we have more issues than the meta rapes that we are already having, or, people thinking that, they might have schizophrenia. Well, it's just a brain to machine interface, that's going through them, or things like that, which are issues that are already happening, but, there are no laws for that. So the technology is an advancement for human being. I think that we can enhance the human being with technology. I believe in cyborgs, but I believe that we should have the right set of laws, to.
Yeah, and I guess it's like, the frames we have for these before has always been like national frames, right? Like countries make laws or countries join unions.
It should be global.
But now we have the opposite problem, where we have people who have come up with technologies that can't be bound by laws of one country or another. So I guess you're trying to come up with something that is neither in the pocket of the billionaires nor in the interests of national ideology.
Exactly. That should be, yeah.
Sounds like quite a task.
Exactly. But it shouldn't be the artist's task. It should be, but I feel that, if we're pushing toward this, and we're making it available for people to understand, I guess that's that's the first step, you know.
And why not you if no one else is going to do it?
Sure, 'cause I have nothing else to do anyway.
So what is next for you after your residency?
Well, here I wish I'm gonna, you know, get to finish, you know, at least like some chapters that I started, you know, and also the videos, if I can get to have a small video art format that's gonna be showable. And this and this we did. So social